In a quiet, unassuming town, a crumbling Victorian house loomed at the end of a narrow street. It was a place of whispered legends and fearful glances, known as the McAllister House. Once a bustling family home, it had stood empty for decades after the mysterious disappearance of the entire McAllister family. Townsfolk claimed that strange noises echoed from its walls at night and that the flickering lights within seemed to beckon to passers-by. One chilly October evening, a group of friends, Emma, Jake, Mia, and Tom, decided to test their courage and explore the infamous house. Armed with flashlights and an old camera, they set out, eager for thrills and ghost stories to share. As they approached, the wind picked up, rattling the branches of the gnarled trees surrounding the property. The door creaked open with a gentle push, revealing a dimly lit foyer filled with dust and decay. Cobwebs hung from the ceiling like tattered curtains, and the air felt heavy with the scent of mildew. "Is this place even safe?" Jake asked, his bravado wavering. "Come on, don't be such a chicken," Mia replied, nudging him playfully. "What's the worst that could happen?" They stepped inside, the floorboards groaning under their weight. The group split up to cover more ground, agreeing to meet back in the morning. Emma and Mia ventured into the living room, while Jake and Tom took the staircase to the second floor. In the living room, the girls marveled at the faded furniture, draped in sheets like forgotten ghosts. A grand piano sat in the corner, its keys yellowed with age. Mia, always the brave one, approached it and pressed down on a key. The note rang out, echoing strangely in the stillness. "Stop it, Mia." Emma laughed nervously. "You'll wake the ghosts." Suddenly, a loud crash came from upstairs, causing both girls to jump. "What was that?" Emma whispered, her eyes wide. "Let's check on the guys," Mia suggested, her voice trembling slightly. They made their way to the staircase, their hearts pounding in sync with the thumping sounds above. Meanwhile, Jake and Tom had found themselves in a long, narrow hallway lined with doors, each one covered in dust. The first few rooms were empty, save for remnants of the family's past, old clothes, broken chairs, and yellowing photographs. But in the last room, Tom noticed something peculiar. "Look at this," he said, pointing to an old trunk in the corner. It was locked, but the latch was rusted and half open. With a little effort, they pried it open, revealing a collection of family journals. As they flipped through the pages, they were struck by a recurring theme, a descent into madness. "Listen to this," Jake said, reading aloud. "The voices grow louder each day. They whisper my name, begging me to join them." "Creepy," Tom replied, glancing around nervously. "Let's get out of here." Back downstairs, Mia and Emma had joined them, visibly shaken. "We heard a crash," Emma said. "What did you find?" "Just some journals," Jake replied, trying to sound nonchalant. "But they're pretty disturbing." Before they could share more, a low moan echoed through the house, sending chills down their spines. The lights flickered, and for a brief moment, they saw a figure standing at the end of the hallway, shrouded in darkness. It seemed to beckon them forward. "What was that?" Mia whispered, her voice trembling. "Let's go see," Tom said, his curiosity getting the better of him. Despite their apprehensions, they moved cautiously toward the shadow. But as they approached, it vanished, leaving only an eerie silence. "Maybe we should leave," Emma suggested, her instinct screaming that they were in danger. But before they could make a decision, a loud bang resonated through the house, and the front door slammed shut with a force that shook the walls. Panic set in, and they rushed to the door, pulling on the handle. It wouldn't budge. "Guys, we need to find another way out," Jake shouted, fear creeping into his voice. They sprinted back upstairs, searching for a window. In one of the rooms, they found a dusty window, but as they opened it, they realized it was sealed shut by decades of paint. Desperate, they turned back to the hallway, where the air felt heavier, thicker. Suddenly, the journals fell from Jake's hands, scattering across the floor. They all gasped as they noticed the pages flipping open on their own, revealing a new entry, one they hadn't seen before. Tonight, they came for us. They whisper promises of forever, calling us home. Guys, this isn't right, Mia said, her voice shaky. We need to get out of here, now. As they turned to leave, the hallway darkened, and the temperature dropped sharply. Shadows began to swirl around them, forming into shapes that looked eerily like the McAllister family. The air filled with whispers, calling their names, urging them to join the family in the eternal quest. Get back! Tom shouted, pushing against the shadows. But they pressed in, whispering promises of safety and belonging. Run! Emma screamed, her voice cutting through the chaos. They bolted toward the stairs, but the shadows lunged forward, grasping at their ankles, pulling them down. In a desperate scramble, Mia caught hold of the railing and pulled herself up the stairs, followed by Emma. They made it to the second floor, the shadows retreating momentarily. We need to find a window. Emma gasped, fear propelling her forward. They found a bedroom with a window just ajar. Help me! Emma cried as she pushed against it. But before they could escape, the shadows coalesced once more, forming a solid wall at the door, blocking their exit. Suddenly, Mia's flashlight flickered and died, plunging them into darkness. The whispers grew louder, surrounding them, and the weight of despair pressed heavily on their chests. Together, Tom shouted, gripping their hands. We have to fight it. With all their strength, they channeled their fear into a single, unified scream, we're not afraid. The shadows paused, their whispers turning to confusion. Taking advantage of the moment, the friends charged toward the window, pushing it open with all their might. The cool night air rushed in, a promise of freedom. With one last effort, they jumped through the window, landing on the grass below with a thud. They didn't stop running until they reached the street, gasping for breath, the haunting whispers fading behind them. As they looked back at the McAllister house, it stood silent and still, the shadows retreating into its depths. They knew they had narrowly escaped something that wanted to keep them forever. But even as they walked away, Emma couldn't shake the feeling that something was watching them, waiting for the next opportunity to draw them back into its embrace. And in the darkness of the house, the whispers resumed, softly calling out for the next unwitting visitors to come and join them in their eternal story.